Hey everybody, so I have today an unboxing of the Doogee S50. So this is the follow-up to that really rugged phone that I unboxed maybe like 3-4 months ago. So right now I'm at a coffee shop, so that's why the table setting is a little bit different from my usual kind of boring unboxings. So let's go on ahead and open up this box. So this Doogee S50, I don't think this is retail packaging. This is like a pre-production unit that was sent to me. So the retail packaging should be a little bit better. The box feels a little bit flimsy right now. Okay, so let's put the phone to the side. So yeah, that's it. I mean, very basic packaging right here. So right here you have some papers and shit. And you do get a microfiber cloth and a soft screen protector. So that's cool that you get a screen protector. There is no case, but you know, this is a rugged phone, so you don't need a case anyway. So you have a plug, USB-C, SIM ejector tool, and that's it. So very bare bones packaging. I think this might this is not the final retail packaging. The retail product might be a little bit more like proper. So let's peel off the sticker on the back. The phone feels pretty sturdy in the hand already. I quite like the feel. This is a 18:9 aspect ratio, so it's a lot more narrow, easier to grip than the last Doogee rugged phone. So yeah, this is one of those phones that's going to be waterproof and probably could slam it on the ground a couple of times and it won't break. So I'm going to set up the phone, play with it, I'll be back. Hey everyone, I'm back with the Doogee S50. So let's run through the specs really quick. I'm going to read the specs according to Doogee, but you know, obviously we don't know how much of that to trust, like the battery size, for example. So this phone has a 5.7-inch display, 720p resolution. It's 1440 by 720p, so it's not the most crisp display, but it gets bright enough for outdoor use. Barely. I was outside under direct sunlight and you can see the screen, but the screen's a little bit glossy. So for a phone that's supposed to be for outdoor rugged usage, I wish it was a little bit brighter. The chipset is a MediaTek Helio P23. That's a MT6737T for those who care about like the model number. I ran benchmarks already on Geekbench. 575 single core, that's pretty weak, but 4048 multi-core, that's strong. So for a budget device, that's strong. So this phone should be able to handle gaming. I ran a PC Mark II, but as usual, the app is not showing the score because the app has a stupid little bug. So I grabbed a screenshot, scored a 5092 on Work 2.0 performance. That's pretty good. A flagship phone like Huawei Mate 10 Pro, which is probably the most powerful Android phone out right now, it scored a 7000 something. And the other phones like a LG V30, Samsung Galaxy S8, and Note 8 only scores like in the 6000. So this phone at 5092 is not bad. It's only a little bit below the flagship phones, and it's going to cost a hell lot less. I don't know the official pricing of this yet, but I think it'll be around like $250 US. This phone, 18:9 aspect ratio, so it's easier to grip than the last Doogee rugged phone that I tested, the S60. That one had a traditional 16:9 aspect ratio. And I also like that there's a pretty big bezel at the bottom, but there's capacitive buttons right here. So you have the back button and the overview button. And you can jump between apps too, so it works. So I like that because I think the previous Doogee phone, S60, had a huge bezel, but also on-screen buttons. So that's a complete waste of space. To me, if you're going to have a bezel like this in 2018, you better have capacitive buttons down there. So I'm a little bit worried about the Huawei P20, which I'll be testing in about 10 days. Because that phone has a slimmer bezel than this, but it's still a pretty sizable bezel with a fingerprint reader. But then they still the phone is still going to use digital on-screen buttons from what I can tell. So that's problematic. If you're going to have a fingerprint reader at the bottom, Huawei, you better not have on-screen buttons, man. Just have capacitive buttons all the way down below. Anyway, back to this phone. So the camera specs, according to Doogee, it's a 16 megapixel and a 13 megapixel. Again, the second camera is probably fake because I took some bokeh shots. Again, it's that fake circular blur. It's not a true bokeh effect. But the selfie camera, the two selfie camera, it's actually legit. You are indeed able to use wide angle lens when you go into selfie mode, so that's pretty cool. Let's look at the hardware. I like the texture right here on the back. It's pretty unique. It feels rugged. The material, it's like this kind of so it's like Kevlar material. Feels good in the hand when you're holding it. The phone's about the same size as the Galaxy Note 8 actually, so it's not a small phone, but it's still easy to grip because of the 18:9 aspect ratio. Same height, same width as the Galaxy Note 8, but it's obviously a lot thicker because the battery inside, according to Doogee, it's 5,180. So I don't know if that's true. You'll have to break open the phone to truly test it, but I'm gonna run this phone through some battery tests just to see. I'm pretty sure the battery life will be good though. It'll be enough to last all day because it's only a 720p panel. So you see on the back of the phone, it's a fingerprint reader. It works pretty fast, pretty accurate, easy to reach. I like the square shape instead of the rectangle shape. That's on the Galaxy S9 is a lot harder to actually register. But if you don't want to use fingerprint reader, there's also face unlock. It's not that secure, I'll be honest with you right off the bat. It's not secure at all actually compared to the iPhone X's Face ID. But if you don't have a lot of secrets to hide, then you're okay to use this. Registering Face ID is really fast, and then after you register to unlock, it takes about a second and a half. So it's not as fast as the OnePlus 5T, but it works. I just don't know how secure it is. I mean, if I have online banking on this and I have a lot of sensitive information, I would not use Face Unlock. So as it says on the back, this phone is IP68 water resistant. So I tried this already. I put the phone underwater, played a video for like 6-7 minutes, and then I pulled it back out and everything worked just fine. This phone is also supposedly heat proof up to 35 degrees Celsius. That's not that hot actually, because in Hong Kong it can get up to 32 sometimes anyway. I think it gets even hotter than that if you're in India or Thailand or something. So, but I'll be testing this. I'm gonna bring this phone out to the beach this weekend and just leave it out in the sun for like a couple hours, see if it affects performance. Okay, so let's look at photo samples really quick. I'm not gonna go too deep into the camera because these Chinese phones, all their cameras are mostly the same. So this shot, there's really good details, and the color of this car, this Mazda, is actually pretty accurate. It's yellow, but dynamic range is pretty poor. Look at how dim the rest of the photo is. That's not how it looked in the real life scene. So dynamic range is pretty poor. The sensors struggles to take in light, but in terms of details, if you have good sunlight, it's good. Like, again, dynamic range is pretty poor in the shot. You look at how bright here, but right here it's completely dark. And this is a bokeh shot, so again, it's completely fake. I'm trying to do a bokeh of this this little, damn, I forgot the name of this. This is, you know, like when you pay for parking meter. Yeah, sorry, parking meter. So you see that it's a circular blur because it didn't blur out this dude. It, you know, and then you see that it kind of blurs out a little bit of the van where the van where it shouldn't be. So it's a little bit problematic. Fake blur again, fake second camera, but this shot turned out pretty nice. So it's a camera that's definitely usable in the day, especially if you're just posting photos on social media, you know. Just don't expect good low light performance or anything. But that goes without saying. That's the case with every budget Chinese phone under 250 bucks. So let's check out video samples. This is shot in 1080p. So I think the quality is actually okay. But watch, as soon as I walk, jerky as hell. Again, no OIS, no EIS. But dynamic range for video actually turned out better. Dynamic range for video. So let's check out the speakers on this thing. There's actually only 2 speakers out of the back, but it's rear firing, so it's not gonna be that it's not gonna be that clear because it's facing, the sound's facing away from you, you know. So this is max volume already, so it's pretty. So it's not loud at all. 50%, it's pretty flat. So 50% right now, it's like really low actually. So you have to go up to at least 75%. Yeah, there's no bass, there's no depth to the sound, but I think the video quality, it's okay, pretty good. Maybe because this video is good, you know. I mean, I guess, you know, no matter what screen you're watching on, this is gonna look pretty cool. So going to settings, this phone runs Android 7.1.1. That's pretty dated, but as I mentioned before, that's because Doogee is not an official Google partner, so it has to get its software from a third party, so they're always going to be a generation or two behind with no chance for updates, basically. But that's what you settle for when you buy a budget phone from Shenzhen from one of the smaller brands. I mean, I personally don't mind. I used the Maze Alpha X for like a week and a half actually as my main phone, and I didn't have any problems with it, even though the software is a little bit dated. So you go into gestures, you have quite a bit of gestures. You have you have finger gesture, like 3-finger screenshot, gesture motion. This is actually pretty cool. You can wave your hand over the phone to skip music tracks. I tried that too. It works even on Spotify. And then you have these other motions here, such as flip a phone to mute when it's ringing. So these are not okay. They're pretty useful. I would prefer something like double tap to wake or double tap to lock the phone. Those are more useful actually. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm going to test this phone a little bit more. I'll probably do a giveaway. And when I get official pricing, I'll update it in the description below. So this is a quick first look of the Doogee S50. Thanks for watching.